Now, hundreds of homes in the village of Stannington remain without gas this morning. It's almost a week since a water main burst and then flooded the gas main.
Our reporter, Mark Ansell, is there for us this morning. Mark, a little earlier on, I know you were able to show us around one of the residents there and just how difficult things are. It was Edna, I think, wasn't it, who's in her 70s. You come outside, we can see how cold it is. Tell us the situation this morning.
Yeah, well, it's desperately cold here. You can probably see my hands are red, and it's -3 degrees according to my watch. The community here has rallied round, though, and the pub behind me is one of the places where they've had people in during the day just to stay warm. But hundreds of people are still affected. They do not have gas supply, so no heating. And here's a report from my colleague, Kathy Killick.
78-year-old Edna Jones has been given a heat pad by the gas company Cadent. It's helping, but she's in remission from bowel cancer and is vulnerable to the cold.
Well, I've got heaters, but it only blows so much out, and you move out of that room and it's freezing in the next room. And it's just one thing after another.
A media briefing by Sheffield City Council, Cadent and Yorkshire Water was interrupted by a couple of residents fed up with the situation and wanting answers about how it happened.
It's absolutely deplorable, this. The infrastructure's changed very little since it were in public ownership back in the 1980s. They're more concerned about the shareholders rather than the citizens of Stannington and surrounding areas. Yorkshire Water couldn't tell them much.
What led to the rupture of the main in the first place?
So at the moment we're looking into that, but it's an asbestos cement main that failed. We're just trying to identify exactly the reasons for that failure.
How old was it?
It was installed in 1970.
200 Cadent engineers are on site, pumping water out of the gas system of each affected household and restoring supply to the last 500 households, hopefully by the weekend. 157 properties in Malin Bridge may take longer. It's a worry for the council, which has this message for residents.
The number to call is 0114 273 4567. That's the council's incident support helpline, and we will make sure that we get people out if you've got any concerns at all about any vulnerable residents.
In the meantime, the village shop, itself without gas, is cooking sausages for residents in its electric ovens. The community has pulled together admirably, but patience is wearing thin as the cold truly begins to bite. Kathy Killick, BBC News.
Well, Yorkshire Water has apologised for the situation. They say in a statement that we constantly monitor our pipes so that we can reduce the risks of bursts. And the pipe in Stannington here, which incidentally was put in 1970, hasn't burst in almost a decade. Cadent, meanwhile, they're the gas supplier. They say that they hope to have supply restored to most of the homes affected in the next 24 hours. It's thought around about 800 homes are still without gas supply, so still without the ability to heat their homes, to put the oven on, to have a hot bath or shower here in Stannington. And it's not just here either, it's down the road into Malin Bridge and Hillsborough too. And it's just so bitterly cold. This couldn't have happened at a worse time of year. Just as the temperatures plummeted, they lost their gas supply. I mean, can you imagine living without the ability to heat your home for the last 7 days? So really difficult time for residents here, but they're hoping, just as the sun rises here and it gets light here in Stannington, that there's hope just around the corner. They're saying that hopefully residents, or most of them, will be back with their gas supply come the weekend.
Mark, thank you very much.